My dear friends, we have a little problem. According to Torah, in the 9 days, you're not supposed to make a masibah of simcha. But we try to make a masibah of simcha. How? If you have a brit. The only problem is, how do you make sure someone gives birth? Or it's called a siyum mesechta. According to Torah, when you finish a mesechta of Talmud, it's considered a sudat mitzvah and mesechet, and you have an obligation to do simcha. So we have to try to do a lot of simcha that is permissible to do, so automatically we'll get rid of the avelut of the 9 days. So the Rebbe instituted in 1965 that every day of the 9 days you have to finish another mesechet. Kol yom mitishad yamim, you finish one mesechet. The problem is, in Tenafly, how are you going to find every day another person to finish another mesechet? No, I'm not saying that.
God for yourself, look at it, God tzaddikim sitting here.
Next day, Raf is going to finish totally.
So this year, Baruch Hashem, there's a mesechet called Tamid. It has 8 pages, and it's beautiful mesechet, all about the Beit HaMikdash and how they did the service and every detail. And it's, if you learn it, it really gives you like a real desire to want the Beit HaMikdash, because you realize what they had there. It's like you don't realize the treasure till you actually see the treasure and understand the treasure and realize. So I'll just give you one piece of the Talmud. You ever heard of Alexander Mugdan? So he asked the Chachamim, Alexander Mugdan, you know who that was? So he asked the Chachamim 10 questions. And I'm just going to ask you 3 of them. He asked them, what's further? Me'eretz l'rakia or me'mizrach l'marav? Meaning, what's a bigger distance from the earth to the rakia? Not the clouds. Rakia, the horizon. Rakia, all the way up with or Mizrach to Ma'ariv, which is further. And the Chachamim are looking at him and said, well, when the sun is shining in the morning, right? When the sun shines in the morning, you could stand outside, nicht gefährlich. But when it's on top of you in the middle of the day, the heat is so powerful. So Alexander said, it must be that the Shamayim to Aretz is closer than Mizrach to Ma'ariv. The Chachamim said, no, it says in the Torah, Mizrach la'Ma'ariv v'Shamayim v'Aretz. So the Torah says it's equal. There's no a bigger difference. Then he asked him another question. Which did Hashem create first, darkness or light? Why? Because in order to have light, you have to have darkness. So that means Hashem had to create darkness, or is darkness an absence of light? Yotze or So or is first. And then choshech? Or choshech and then or? It's the higher level of God.
Choshech is first. No, God is the light.
Vaya choshech al pnei tahom. The first day it says Vaya choshech.
How God created the universe? With his light. Of course, it's a different light.
Tzimtzum. Yeah, he had to make it tzimtzum.
So it must be the light is first.
But the light came to the darkness. No, yeah.
V'choshech al pnei tahom.
The cabinet to the darkness.
V'yomer Elokim yehi or. First it was choshech, and then or. Anyways, so the Chachamim said to him, we don't have an answer. So here we have bigger Chachamim. So the Gemara says, what do you mean there's no answer? It's clearly written in the Torah. V'hayta choshech al pnei sahom, and vayomer Elokim yehi or. So choshech was first. So they said, no, we didn't want to answer him. Why? Because they saw the way he's going to the questions. He's going to start asking questions that we don't want to answer. Like, who was before God? You know what I mean? So they decided, let's stop now while we're ahead, so we don't go into, this is Gemara Tamid. He decided he wants to conquer the whole world. So he said to Chachamim, I want to go to the Harei Choshech. You ever heard of Harei Choshech? So he asked, how do I get there? They said, don't go. He says, but I want to go. So they told him to take horses from Egypt, these big white horses that could go in the darkness. Anyways, he travels to the Harei Choshech and he comes to a city. The entire city is just women. No men. The whole city is only women. Can you imagine that? That's Choshech Mamash. So anyway, he says to the women, okay, so I could kill you and you're nothing, I could get rid of you. So they said, Alexander, if you're going to kill us, they're going to say he killed a city of women. It's not going to look good for you. Be a little smarter than that. So he says, okay, so give me food to eat. So you know what they brought him? They brought him an eye of a human being made out of gold. And they said, put it in a scale and try to make it bounce. Even. He put the eye of the human being here, and he filled it, and it was never able to. So they said, you know why? The way Hashem created our eye is we never are satisfied. We always look and look and look and lo tizba ayin. You're never going to be satisfied. So he asked, what do you do? He says, I'll tell you, cover the eye, and then it's going to bounce with a feather. He covered the eye and it bounced right away. So you learned a big lesson. The nature of a person is our eyes just don't have limits. And no matter what you give it, it's never satisfied. No, with your eye. If you don't see the food, you're not going to be as hungry as if you see it. So tizba, ayin lo tizba, you can never get the eye satisfied. So you have to cover your eye and learn how to look at things. This is the women teaching Alexander the Great. So when he left the city, he says, here was Alexander the Great, that the women were able to overcome his strength. And he left the city. Can you imagine that? Alexander the Great. Anyways, I'm just sharing what the Gemara shares, one of the stories. L'chaim. So we're going to learn a little of the Maimer. And the reason I picked this, because since it's the 9 days, what we do is every Shabbos, in the 3 weeks, there's 3 weeks. 2 weeks ago, last week, and this Shabbat. This Shabbos, every Shabbos we read in the Haftorah something that has to do with the Churban Beit HaMikdash. Different topics, different things. So this Shabbos is the last Shabbos, and it's called Shabbat Chazon. Why is it called Shabbos Chazon?
You can see.
It's the Chazon of Yeshayahu, and he goes through the terrible sins of the Jewish people. And then he ends off the last line of the last Haftorah of the 3 weeks. That means this finishes the whole thing. He ends off ציון במשפט תפדה ושווה בצדקה. ציon will be redeemed. Tefda means to redeeming. B'mishpat. With mishpat, the ציon will be redeemed. V'shaveha, its captives, b'tzedakah. That's how the Haftorah finishes. What does it mean in a practical sense? When you say the word Sion, it goes on the city Yerushalayim. But this Haftorah, it goes on Bnei Yisrael. But Bnei Yisrael are only called Sion when they're Mitzuyan. Listen to this. If they learn Torah, do mitzvot, and give tzedakah. So that's all of you. So Sion, b'mishpat tefada. B'mishpat means they're just and they're right to be tefada because they learn Torah, they do mitzvot, so they deserve to get out of Galut. You don't need to do it as a charity.
So that's a mishpat?
Mishpat means it's just, it's the right thing. V'shaveha means the Jews that are in captivity. What mean the Jews that are in captivity? They're not learning Torah, they're not doing mitzvot, so they're captive in their animal soul. So how is Hashem going to take them out of Galut? B'tzedakah. And he has said chesed, tzedakah. I'm going to just take them out anyway, even if they're not thinking. That's what the translation of that pasuk is. It's the last pasuk of the Haftorah of the 3 weeks. So he says, Umei ve'alzeh Admar Zaken, Likkutie Torah. You have it, Divrei Maschil. You have it, the first page. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom. It's unbelievable, this pasuk. We say it in the Shema every day. These words that I tell you today. What does it mean today? It was 3,337 years ago. Every day you have to imagine that this is the first time Hashem ever told you to put on tefillin. The question is, how do you get to feel like that? How do you get that when you come to shul in the morning, you should feel it was the first time you ever came to shul in your life, and it's the first time you ever put on tefillin, and it's the first time you ever... How do you get that feeling? It's hard, because you're doing it every day. And the Alter Rebbe explains, Shekadei lavoi, in order to get to what? To that level. Shebachol yom yiu beinecha chadashim. How do you get to the level that every day it should be new? Who al yidei has boinenut the pasuk zegufa. Think about this pasuk. What does it say in the pasuk? Vayu hadvarim ha'ele asher. Who's Anochi? Anochi is God. Is already the name of God. Anochi is the essence of Hashem.
Okay.
It's not Yud Kei Vav Kei. It's not Elokim.
It's him.
It's the essence of Hashem. Asher anochi mitzavcha hayom. If you realize that all the mitzvahs come not from Hashem's name, not from Yud Kei Vav Kei, and not from Elokim, the mitzvahs come from Anochi, from the essence of Hashem. Oh, then the mitzvahs are going to be as if it was just given to you now. Oh, now you speak. This is Anochi. This is the essence of Hashem. So now, give. Anayim lo tizbah. Lo tizbah. You're not going to get. So the question is, why is it that only if Anochi, then I'm going to get to enjoying the Zehu? He says, when Hashem created the world, which level of Hashem created the world?
Yes.
Malchut. No, the Malchut, which is the lowest level. Because Hashem made a tzimtzum. He had to cover the essence of Hashem, had to cover the light of Hashem, had to cover a lot of things. And then Hashem made a little ziv, a little shine, and that creates the world. That's called Malchut. Because Malchut is the lowest level, and that's what it is. But when you do put on tefillin, you learn Torah, you know what you bring into this world? Hamshachat ha'atzmut. When I do a mitzvah, I'm bringing the essence of Hashem. This whole world was created from a little shine of a shine of a shine of a shine of Hashem. Like I say, a little glimmer of Hashem creates the whole world. It's called B'Yud Hey Nivra Olam. With one letter, Hashem created the whole world. It's just very minute. But when I do a mitzvah, I bring the essence of Hashem in this world. So that means every time I do a mitzvah, I learn Torah. What am I bringing here? Atzmus Mohus, the essence of Hashem. Anochi. So now what do? Anochi means I that am I. Who's the I? The essence of Hashem. Oh, v'lachein yafa sha'achas b'tshuva u'maisim tovim b'olam hazeh. It's better to live 1 hour in this world and do mitzvot than kol chayei olam haba. Imagine what that means. Ki olam haba, what are you going to do in olam haba? What do you think you're going to have there? Nanim miziv hashchina. You only get a little ziv of the shchina. So when I'm going to olam haba, I get a little shine. But in this world, I have atzmut u'mehuz, I have Hashem Himself, because I do a mitzvah, I have Hashem. I give tzedakah, I have Hashem. I learn Torah, I have Hashem. In Gan Eden, I only have a little ziv. And guess what more? V'al yidei tshuva ma'asim tovim, I bring b'olam hazeh hu hamshachas ha'atzmut. So if I learn Torah and I do mitzvahs, I have God Himself. V'zeu asher neichem mitzavcha hayoim, hayoim davka, hayoim la'asoi samamacha l'kal v'schar, v'schar ha'mitzvah shem haba hu rak ziv. In olam haba, you're only going to get a little ziv, a ziv of a ziv, a ziv, a ziv, which is a shine of a shine of a shine. V'adei kiyam ha'mitzvahs b'olam hazeh. By doing the mitzvahs in this world, hayoim la'asoisam, mamshichim ha'atzmut. You get the essence. Yeah, what's your question?
So the question is, you said Atzmuto, Anochi, right? So if you read tzaddik, you really need Atzmuto, or just Hashem is enough? Why do you have to get me excited only when it's Atzmuto? You know what I mean? You understand my question?
He's asking a very strong question. He's saying, in order to make the mitzvah should be as if it's today, every day like it's a new day, I need that it should be coming from Atzmut. What's wrong if it's Gan Eden or it's Yud Kei Vav Kei? It's also pretty heavy.
It is very.
Like what? Is that not going to make it exciting? Do I need it that it should become from Atzmus and then it's going to be like it's new? And if it comes from Yud Kei Vav Kei, it's not new?
Exactly.
That's the next question the Rebbe asks. How did you know? You learned this? You must have learned it before you were born. No, before you were born. You learned it.
He had a photograph. He had a photograph.
Yeah. Kol HaTorah. So he learned it. Look, he's going to say this question and he's going to answer. He's going to give a very interesting answer, which will explain to you also why people forget. Why is it that people forget? Like there's a lot of times you learn something, you forget. Where does shikha come from?
Memory in the neck. It's very important. Shikha is very important.
No, but forgetting Torah. Not the bad thing, forgetting good things. Why? He's going to show you that if you are connected to Atzmut, you never forget. We're going to get to it in 1 minute. In other words, the forgetting is because you're connected to the limitation of the world.
I know why we're forgetting. Can I tell you why?
Why?
It's okay, we're all adults here. If you don't keep your eyes kosher, that makes you forget. If you stay away from your phone, from everything, stay just in the Torah, you're not going to forget.
Oh, he's going to get to that in a minute. So that's what he's saying? He's saying...
What makes you forget is all the bad stuff.
אתה מבין מה שהוא אומר לו? אתה לא, זהו, take a... רונן, תן לו שני דונלדס. The first עמוד. ועל ידי הסבינוס. No. You ready? חבר'ה, ועל ידי הסבינוס לנכי באילם הזה, על ידי זה יהיה אצלי המצווה באופן ליום שבכל יום יהיו בעיני חדשים. So by you realizing that the mitzvahs come from atzmut and mahus, it comes from the essence of Hashem. By you realizing it, it's going to be new for you every day. So he says, Aval kasheni kain. But if it's not like that, meaning, if you don't realize that the mitzvah is from atzmus and mahut, you know what's going to happen? His bitterness and happiness is going to be from physical things, rather than from learning Torah and doing mitzvahs. Azai, you know what happens? Hanitzutz elikishabai, the spark of God that's in him, hu begalut, b'nafshei habahamas. So that's called ציון במשפט, I have to get out of it. Tefda. So now he's asking what Rafi mentioned, you're telling me the only time I'm going to be excited to do a mitzvah as if it's the first time is only if it comes from atzmut. Even a mitzvah that you got 3 days ago and 5 days ago, you could still do it with energy as if it's so exciting. Page, turn the page. Reish Lamed Bet. Which is Rafi's question. It says, in order to get to the level of in order to get to the level that every day the mitzvah should be new, you have to think that anoichi shall they keep my mitzvahs through doing the mitzvahs by El Mazel, Hamshachas anoichi shuna laharba yoysim eschar mitzvahs shu aziv. So he's saying l'chura mikiv shana miziv hashchina el ta'gadol v'yoysa. Listen, where do you think your neshama goes after 120 years? It goes to Gan Eden. What do you think the neshama is doing in Gan Eden? It's enjoying such great ta'anug that the Rebbe once explained it. No matter if you take all the ta'anugim of this world, all the ta'anugot of this world, everything, put it all together, it doesn't count for 1 second of the ta'anug of Olam Haba. So it's not a small potatoes. It's also, even though it's just a ziv, but still a big tanug. So isn't that also getting you exciting to do mitzvot? You need to have that it comes from the essence of Hashem. Just the fact that you're going to get olam haba, and you're going to get such a tanug that all the tanugot of the whole world doesn't come to 1 second, that's also enough. Why do I need that the mitzvah should come from atzmut u'mos? And that's what he says. If I tell you that every time you put on tefillin, you're getting 613 times the whole world, 613 worlds in one time. That's exciting. I don't need it to come from atzmut. That also gets me excited. So why do I need it to be shebechdei shamitzvos yeh chadashim? I need it to be anoichi mitzav chayim, that it has to be from atzmut. Even if it's not from atzmut, just the fact that every time I do a mitzvah, I'm going to get a piece of Gan Eden, and I'm going to get a piece of Olam Haba, also get me excited. It's nicht gefährlich to have Olam Haba and Gan Eden. So I'll tell you an interesting thing. The way Hashem created the world, there's Mamale and Sovev. You remember the Mamale and Sovev? We learned that. There's the energy of Hashem that fits into everything in this world. So this cup has an energy of Hashem. It fits in, and you have a cup that holds water. This salad has the vegetable has an energy of Hashem. It makes it purple. It tastes a certain taste, and that energy gives it the taste and the color and the size. Then there's an energy of Hashem that's called Sovev. Sovev means it circles. It's not clothed in to the world and fits in. It's above it. It's here, but it doesn't fit into it's above the whole thing. So,
like electricity.
Melo is memale, memolo. This is already, this is Ani Hashem Lo Shoniti. It's like, it's all around. So now what's the problem? This world has a limit. There's time and space. What is time? Ovar, Hoveh, and Yiyeh. That's time. Makom has 6 sides to it. That's it. That's Makom.
Yeah.
So anything in this world has a past, has a present, and has a future. So automatically, if you connect to anything, even an energy of Hashem that's clothed into this world, automatically there's a past. That means it's something that I forget. It happened.
Limitation.
It's a limitation. So automatically any energy of Hashem that's limited, that fits into the time and space of the world, like you say Hashem Melech, Hashem Malach, Hashem Yimloch. What does it mean? Melech, Molach, Yimloch. Melech is present. Molach and Yimloch. So that means it's already Hashem, how he put himself into being a Melech. He condensed himself and he fit himself into being a Melech, and now he's in the past, he's in the present, and in the future. That's where forgetfulness comes. How do you get above this? You have to connect to the level of Hashem that's above the world. That's not limited to time and space and past, present, and future. How do I do that? That's Torah and mitzvot. When I learn Torah, do mitzvot, Torah is not limited to time. It's not limited to space. So when I learn Torah, do mitzvahs, I'm connecting to the essence of Hashem. Which, what do? I bring the energy of Hashem that's above time and space, and I bring it into time and space. So even though I'm living in a world where everything is limited, but by learning Torah mitzvahs, I'm able to connect two opposites. I'm able to take the infinite godliness and bring it into the finite world. How could I do that? How could I take an infinite God and bring it into a finite? How could I fit the famous Hasidic question, if you could take an elephant, remember the question? If you could put it in the hole of a needle. Pila de machta. You remember this story? So the Gemara speaks about it. And then Chassidus speaks about it. Could someone ever have a dream of an elephant going through the pin of a needle? Could you ever have such a dream? In a dream. Could you have such a dream? No. So the Gemara says it's not possible. Why? Because it's not even possible to even have a possibility, to even think of a possibility, to have a possibility that an elephant should go through a needle. An elephant is a be'ema gedolah. And it's a little needle. It's not even a chalom shechalam al acherim. You can't even have such a dream. That's what the Gemara says. Chassidus says you could. How? You have to think about it a whole day. Now, how you get an elephant in the hole of a needle? So there's 3 ways. One is you make the elephant small. Smash it, or you make the hole big. But that's not such a miracle.
It's happening every day in Disney. I don't watch movies, but it's happening now.
See that? You know this?
And the elephants fly.
And the fly.
He flies in.
But Chassidus says, when you connect to Atzmut, listen to this one. Atzmut is the essence of Hashem. By the essence of Hashem, you can have 2 opposites at the same time. Listen to this carefully. You can have the elephant staying the same size as an elephant. You can have the needle staying the same size, and still it can go through. Because when you deal with Memali Kalalmim, which is the energy of Hashem that fits in the world, you can't. You need the Atzmut. Why? What Atzmut does is it takes the infinite and it can bring it into the finite.
It's like the story in the Holocaust that you went to the hole. The guy that ran from the...
Right, exactly, yeah. He was able to fit through the small... No, he ran away, the Shoah. But the point... Yeah, the point here is when you want to take two opposites. Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, that was the guy. He jumped over the hole.
Yeah.
The Rebbe. You remember that?
Another reality, yeah, but there's another reality.
Yeah.
When everybody had to fit into the courtyard.
Of the Beis Hamikdash, yeah. And this is why I want. This is interesting.
People were able to fit in.
In the Beis Hamikdash, you had this reality. Why? It says that when they came on Yom Kippur, on the Chiv, how many Jews came? Let's not say 15 million because women didn't have to come. Let's even take 2 million. Now the space of the Beis Hamikdash is 11 amot. So 11 amot is, let's say, 22 feet by 135 feet amot. So let's say 200. So it's 22 by 200 feet. So let's say the size of the shul by us. The room where they stand. How could you fit 2 million people there?
But it's the same miracle in Gaza now. Like 410.
Okay. And they're all starving. Yeah.
Behind you, I can imagine many people gathering.
Oh, so it says that the miracle was that you could be in a space where you have only a certain, like literally you can measure, and yet you could fit everyone there, berevach. That means mishtachavim revachim. That there's plenty of space. How? Because when you connect to the atzmut, then you could have space and non-space in space and still remain space, and while it's non-space. That's two opposites. It's like the miracle of Hanukkah. What happened the first Hanukkah? They had oil only for 1 day. So how did it stay for 8 days? How did it last for another 8 days? Did it every day fill up automatically? The cup got full again?
No.
Or did they take the bottle that fills up the 7 cups and they split it into 8 days, and every day they put a little and it burned the whole night? Well, according to Chassidut, they filled up the first night to the top. And it was burning like a regular fire and a regular oil. But the atzmut of Hashem was revealed that even though it was regular oil and a regular fire, it stayed and it didn't consume while it was consuming. Two opposite means it's natural and not natural, and it's still natural while it's not natural, and it remains natural at the same time. The same thing in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. In Kodesh HaKadoshim there was the Aron with the Luchot was in the center, right here, in the middle of the room. The Kodesh HaKadoshim was 20 by 20. Okay? So if you put this in the center of the room, this is 2.5 by 2.5. So the center, put it right in the middle of the center, so you measure from the wall to the beginning of the center, and from here, this takes up space.
And they didn't fit.
The Torah says no, they measured from here to here was 10, and from here to here was 10. How could it be? There's 2.5 in the middle. How could you have from here to the beginning 10, and from here to the beginning 10, and there's only 20, and I get here to 10, that means this space didn't take space. That means there was an Aron that had space. It was built by 2.5 amot. But it didn't take, because atzmut, when you deal with atzmut, he could connect two opposites that while it remains a space, it could be non-space in space and still remain space. You getting what I'm saying? So when you learn Torah and you do mitzvot, what are you doing? What you're doing is you're bringing the atzmut to this world. So therefore, even though it's already, how many years is everyone? 20 years, 30 years, whatever, you're learning Torah. But since you're connecting to atzmut, so even though the world has time, and there was a yesterday, and there was 2 days ago, and it was last year, and 10 years ago. But when you connect to atzmut, what does atzmut do? Atzmut says, listen, I know there's time and space, but I'm going to connect above time and space, in the time and space. So even though the time is constantly changing, still it's chadashim. It's as if it's just happened. Even though the time is still going. V'haraya b'chol yom. Every day, that means there's another day. So there is time. But in the time, I give you the feeling of above time and space while you're in time and space. And therefore, even though you're in time, you feel as if it was the first time. Does it make sense, this?
Very nice.
Huh? It makes sense?
It makes sense.
Look how he says.
If you're open-minded, it does.
It doesn't make sense at the same time.
Very good, very good.
He's a doctor.
You're a doctor? You hear what he says? It makes sense and nonsense at the same time, right? Okay.
So that's how you make yourself excited every time. Like you're
No, so he says like this. The problem is, if you're living in this world, there's no way that every day it should be the same. Every day it's different. I already did this 10 times. It's harder to do it the 11th time with the same excitement.
Right.
There's no way. Because in time, when you're living in a world of time and space, everything you did already 100 times, it's not going to be the same excitement. That's the nature. So in order for me to get that excitement, as if it's the first time, I have to connect to a place that could give it to me in the world of space and time. That means there's two options. One is I could get out of this world. I leave this world, and there's no time and space, and there everything is new. But the chidush here is, no, I'm living in a world where there is time, there is hayom yom revi'i, hayom yom chamishi, hayom yom shishi, there's days, this time, and still I should feel as if it's the first time. So now I'm doing two opposites. In other words, if I leave this world, I have no problem. I'm not limited to time and space. But here I'm telling you I should be in this world, and I'm doing it every day to fill in again because it's a new day, and yet I should feel as if it was the first time, as if there's no time. In order to get that feeling, I have to connect to Atzmut. Because if I don't connect to Atzmut, there's no way that in a world of time and space I should feel that. That's new. So I have to connect to a level that could connect two opposites at once. Could let me live in this world, and yet I should have the feeling as if it was the first time.
This is about regular people or about tzaddikim?
This is us. Us.
But basically, in daily life, it's not what happened. You go every day, you put tefillin every day, and it's routine, if you want or not.
So the
nature.
chidush, that's what we're trying to change. In other words, ציון במשפט תפדה ושווה בצדקה is trying to help you to be a ציון. ציון means mitsuyanim. That I want to get you, that you should be able to feel today as if it's the first time. I want to help you. How? Mishpat goes on learning Torah. When I learn Torah, I connect to the essence of Hashem, Anochi. When I connect to the essence of Hashem, Tipadeh, that I'll be able to feel as if it's the first time I'm doing it. I saw this by the Rebbe. The Rebbe used to come and speak about whatever, the parsha, as if it was the first time he spoke about it, even though he spoke about 40 years already. With all the whole energy, as if we're just the first time we're ever speaking about Pesach. It's the first Pesach we ever had. First time we're ever eating matzah. And the Rebbe gave an hour explaining about matzah. I heard this already a year ago. No, it's a new matzah. It's a new Chadashim.
But he had many people coming to see him all the time.
For him, it was always the new one. It was always the first time.
What about the people who are listening? He's excited as the first time. What about you as listening?
So we have to work on it. It's not natural. But we, according to Torah, we have to work on ourselves that every time we do a mitzvah, it should be as if it's the first time. Huh? No, but we could.
That's another thing.
You're supposed to remember when it happens the first time. It's like getting married. You understand? You're supposed to remember. You got married, right? You can forget, right?
No,
Even though
you
you
that was it to forget.
You can't forget. That's what it is.
Try to make the same feeling.
Of course, you have to remember the first.
But how do you get to it?
You do.
Right.
Every day. Oh, this is the first time I'm reading it. Oh, it's amazing.
Exactly. How do you get there?
You remember the first time.
So he says, Anochi, if you can connect to the essence of Hashem, so even though you're in a place that has time and space, and you're putting on tefillin in the morning, and you're doing shacharit, if you connect to the essence of Hashem, you could get to the level that you should feel as if it's the first time.
Like the guy in 770
You
used to
learn.
go.
Torah.
If you learn, so every day you got something new.
Mhm. So it's like a new. So he says, ציון במשפט תפדה. That how do I become a ציון? How do I become? Is by mishpat, by learning Torah. That's how it's going to get revealed, this piece of me. So if I learn Torah, it's going to be as if it's new. And the truth is, if you think about it, every time Simchas Torah, we start again Bereshit. But why, when we do Bereshit again, it's what? I'm doing it again? Or it's supposed to be like if it's new? It's first time. So you're learning it as if it's the first time I heard Bereshit. Wow. Bereshit, bara Elokim, I never heard this. Elokim, who's Elokim? Oh, I remember I learned Chassidut, Elokim is the Tzimtzum. And Bereshit is the one that created the Tzimtzum with Et. So now, wow, this is a new creation. Guess what? When we learn it in that way, we actually change the world also. And now the world becomes new. That's the Chidush here. Because if I learn Torah and I do a mitzvah as if it's new, so now I'm creating the world that new. So it's a new world. It's not going to be the same world as a minute ago. The world is now a new world because I just made it the way I learned and the way I'm doing the mitzvah as if it's the first time. So that's what I'm doing to the world, the same thing. It's now a new world. It's not the same world as a minute ago. So let's turn to the last page so we can finish. I see everyone looks at it. This is like new. It's not. It's a new page. Reish Lamed Zayin. You see Ralaz? The one before the
Kuf Mem Dalet.
Oh, it's Kuf Mem Dalet? V'zeu Tziyom B'mishpat. Kuf Mem Gimel. You see it?
I got confused when you spoke about the Olam Haba. The Olam Haba said we cannot do nothing. I mean, why so diminished the Olam Haba? I mean, why it's when they took the Rebbe to the prison and they put him a gun in his head, he told them very clear, you have two gods and one world. I have one God and two worlds. That means that Olam Haba, it's significant.
But I agree with you. I agree that Olam Haba is significant, but if you compare it to one mitzvah is worth more than the whole Olam Haba. In other words, if I could put on tefillin one time, it's worth more than the whole Olam Haba. Yafa shah achas v'tshuva ma'asim tovim ba'olam hazeh mikol chayei olam haba. That's in Pirkei Avot.
Yeah, but it says again,
שעה אחת בעולם הבא.
בעולם הבא מכל חיי העולם.
חיי העולם הזה, אבל לא תשובה ומעשים טובים.
So
in other words like this. I'm not saying. What I'm saying to you is like this. Olam Haba is a very special place. I'm not trying to.
Nobody came back.
Nobody came back, but I'm saying it's a very special place. But we shouldn't live a life that every time I do a mitzvah, I'm going to get more Olam Haba. Because the mitzvah is worth more than the Olam Haba.
Okay.
You know, as you're putting on tefillin, you have the essence of Hashem with you right now. In Olam Haba, you only have a ziv. A ziv means a little shine.
Yeah.
So rather than putting on tefillin because of Olam Haba, put on tefillin because through tefillin I connected atzmut of Hashem. That's how we should live our life. So therefore, in the Torah, find me in the Chumash where it says Olam Haba about Gan Eden. No way. And Kaltuf. And it says in Kol Yisrael, Yesh Lahem Chelek. But in the Torah it doesn't mention anything. Why? Hashem is not teaching us Olam Haba because you're diminishing it. I want you to know that when you do a mitzvah, it's far above Olam Haba. Every one mitzvah is worth more than the whole Olam Haba. So you just focus on learning Torah, doing mitzvahs. That's it you should focus on. Olam Haba is beautiful, and you're right, it's nothing, it's Gan Eden, and everyone is enjoying for sure. But every mitzvah you do, and every time you learn Torah, is far above it. So if it's far above the whole Olam Haba, don't focus on Gan Eden. It's cheap.
Don't waste your time.
And guess what? By Tchiyat HaMeisim, what's going to happen? All the neshamot in Gan Eden are coming back down here. Why? Why would they come from Gan Eden back to this world?
Punishment.
Yeah.
A punishment. Because the point is, even Moshe Rabbeinu, it says, is going to come for Tchiyat HaMeisim. That's what it says. Moshe, Aaron, all the tzaddikim. Why? Well, Moshe is already 3,000 years in Gan Eden. In Gan Eden, no matter how high you are, it's all a ziv. By Olam Haba, by Tchiyat HaMeisim, the essence of Hashem is going to be revealed here. So there, it's almost like it's going to be such an aliyah for them to come here.
Yes, so what you're saying, they're sitting there waiting to come down.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we are willing to go to Gan Eden.
No, we want to be here. We want Mashiach to come and have the Atzmut here. We don't want to go to Gan Eden. We want to stay here and do more mitzvot. Who wants to go to Gan Eden? No, for when it comes to the physical, no, for the physical things. Chaim ha-gashmiyim. Aval ha-mitzvot v'torah is far more superior. Why do you think a tzaddik wants to live? Why did the Baal Shem Tov want to live long?
Yeah.
To eat another slice of pizza?
No, but strange.
Do you think that's what Baal Shem Tov? The Rebbe lived to 92 because he want every moment you could do one mitzvah is worth more than the Olam Haba. So Moshe Rabbeinu said to Hashem, V'eschanan, next week's parsha, I want to go to Eretz Yisrael. Why? The Gemara says, V'chilecho mepirya? You think he wanted to go to Israel to eat olives and figs? No, what are you talking about? He couldn't do all the mitzvah that you could only do in Israel. There's hundreds of mitzvahs he could only do in Israel. Truma, Maaseh, Bikurim, Shemitah, Yovel, all the mitzvot, Karbanot. He couldn't. He wanted to get an opportunity to do those mitzvot. V'eschanan, he's begging God, give me a few days to do some mitzvot in the Eretz Yisrael. Hashem says, I'm going to give it to you, but it's going to take 3,300 years.
That's now.
That's now. And then you're going to come, we're going to do all 613 mitzvahs. But for now, you have to stay here. Let's finish the last page. ציון במשפט תפדה ושווה בצדקה. You remember we said? What does ציון go on? The Jewish people. What does Shaveh go on? The Jewish people. So what does it mean? How the Jewish people are called either ציון or Shaveh? So he says, Beis dargot b'neshama. It's two levels in your neshama. ציון represents which part of the neshama? Shelamayla mehislap shus beguf. The b'china zu, the part of your neshama that's above your limitations of your body is that part can never be in captivity b'nefesh b'hamis. The only thing that could happen to this part of the neshama b'golut. So that's the higher level of the neshama, that's called Sion, that you can never be in captivity, but sometimes it can be blocked by the body. That the body doesn't let this neshama, part of the neshama shine in the body. So he needs Sion b'mishpat tipada. The Shaveh is the lower level, Dargat HaNeshama shebislapshut. This is the part of the neshama that's in your guf. The b'china zu, in this part, shayach shetiyah b'shviyah b'nefesh habahamas. She's in captivity, she's in hostage in the nefesh habahamas. What does the Nefesh Bahamas do? Shamariris, so Simcha Shalah, what is she bitter about and what is she happy about? Which that's such a hostage captivity feeling that I'm happy about physical things and I'm sad about physical things. Rather than being happy about godly things and being sad about godly things, I'm stuck. So if I have more money, I'm happy. If I have less money, I'm sad. That's what the neshama should be sad about and happy about. That's why it's in captivity. So now what happens? Is that what it says? V'toim Tzion azavani Hashem. The shikha who sheyesh dava hameshacheach v'lo yirak hed hazikaron. There is not remembering, and then there's forgetful. Not remembering is one thing, but then forgetful means there's something causing me to forget. You see what I'm saying? Vayishkacheu. So what does that mean? Azavani b'chinas havayisha b'irasevev ein shaykhin yashikha. When you speak about the neshama that's above your body, above over there, the neshama doesn't forget. The only thing could be azavuni. That, you know, Hashem left me go. But the part of the neshama that's in the goof, over there, shaykh shikha. And that's why ציון במשפט תפדה ושווה בצדקה. Why? Shabdiya the b'chinas ציון. ציון is the higher level of your neshama. Mehadvarim hamachasim malel ameinim agila shaban haguf hadei atayra. How do you get your neshama out of galut? Of your, that it should be is through learning Torah. You know why? Ki ha-Torah hi or. Torah or. V'lachein al yada nasa agila b'chinas ציון. So when you're learning Torah, it's going to give you light, and you're going to be able to see the world the right way, and you won't be in galut in ציון. Then Tediya b'dargas haneshama mislav shvaguf, which is shavel and the nefesh habahamis, is through tzedakah. What's tzedakah? Tzedakah represents two things. One is tzedakah kepshuta, to give tzedakah, like it says, rechava mitzvascha ma'oid shadei mitzvah tzedakah. Through tzedakah nimshach hagilu da'or hablighvul, and this you bring the infinite light of Hashem that shines in your neshama. And then the next thing that happens is that by doing tzedakah, you connect the infinite light of Hashem into your neshama that's in the body, and it's able to get the body out of the shivya, and deizeh nimshach gam ba'olam shagilui l'maylam anateva nimshach in the teva, and through that there'll be the gilu atzmos mahus, that the dir loy b'tachtenim, which will be latzmos. So in other words, by giving tzedakah, I bring the infinite light of Hashem, and now I can get my neshama out of being hostage in my nefesh habahamis, and I'm going to be able to see the world the way the Torah sees it, and I'm not going to be sad anymore from physical things. I'm not going to be happy from physical things. I'll be happy from spiritual things, and sad if I don't do what Hashem wants. L'chaim, l'chaim. We want to make first. Let's do Kaddish.